welcome back to Oliver's Greenhouse. In this episode I'm going to be showing you how to make a windowsill bog garden out of one of these planter troughs. Make sure it hasn't got any holes in it. A rainwater diverter kit, or at least some of the tubing. I think this is about a 1/4 inch diameter, but you're going to need some of that, a bit longer than this as well. This is just for a demonstration. You're also going to need some zap straps or cable ties, approximately 3 of them. So it's pretty cheap. The raining system, the mist system's just come on, so I'm getting wet. I'll make sure I turn everything off. We'll come in the greenhouse and me and Harry will show you how to make one of these. Right, so the first thing we're going to have to do is make some space, because what I want to do is work up here. It's a nice height and there's some good light for filming as well. So Harry, you're going to give me a hand. What we'll do is we'll move some of these plants and put them over the other side. What we'll have to do is just make some space. Watch out for the brassica. Look at the pretty flowers. Nice, isn't it? Okay, so we'll make some space and then we'll move some of these plants over there. All right? Come in. Okay, right, we've got some space. Will you stop mucking around with the water? Come on, leave it alone. Thank you, put it down. No, not in there, not in there, on the floor. Thank you. Okay, right, so like I said before, we're going to be making a windowsill bog garden out of this. I've made them before. They're pretty easy, pretty straightforward to do. Harry, you're going to help me make it and help me plant it up. The things you're going to need before, I've already stated at the beginning of the video. You need to get one of these windowsill troughs. It needs to make sure it doesn't have one that's got any holes in the bottom, because obviously it's got to hold the water in it. You're going to need some cable ties. I'll show you why we need those in a minute, because you're basically the issue with these is, I mean, you can fill a trough like this full of potting media and keep it wet, but it's hard to gauge how moist it is as well, and you don't want the whole thing sopping. So what I did was I came up with the idea of using some of this 1/4 inch drainage tube. This is about a 1/2 inch one. So this is part of a rainwater diverter kit for a water butt. It goes into that little cup thing which you put in the downpipe of your guttering, and it collects water and diverts it into the water butt. But this is quite good. It's quite flexible. It's easy to bend, basically, to get it to fit the bottom of the trough. So what I do in order to make these is I cut a section of this till it's a little bit bigger than or a little bit longer than the actual tray here. And you're going to perforate it with a series of holes using a fine drill bit all the way along it, loads of little holes basically. So what this then does is it sits in the bottom of the tray like this. You can top it up by filling it up with water here, and because it's permeable, it obviously keeps the water level at a constant height, which is really good. It makes it really easy to monitor how much water you put in it. What I'm going to have to do though is we'll take you through, I'll pick you guys up and we'll go and have a look at how we bend this and how we make it into this shape. Okay, so in order to end up with this, basically you're going to need to cut your section of pipe so that it fits inside the trough like this, okay? But we've got to create this bend here so that it comes up sort of parallel with the edge of the and fits nice and close to the edge of the trough. And we've also got to heat it up and bend it over so that we can put a zap strap around it and to create a bit of a seal on here. Now, the easiest way of doing this is to use boiling water, okay? So kids, if you are doing this, get a parent to help you or an adult to give you a hand doing it. Another good way of doing it would be with a heat gun and a pair of gloves. So simply heat the ends up like this until it's nice and malleable. It is plastic at the end of the day. Just bend it over so you create a kink, put a zap strap around it and put it tight. What I've used for it, I've used boiling water. So what I'll do is I'll show you how to do it on this. As an example, it's a smaller diameter than that one. I don't think it would make a difference regarding the functionality of this, but for this demonstration, this is all I've got left. So we'll be having a look at this, okay? Okay, so that's the kettle boiled. So you want to start, once you've cut it roughly to length, you need to bear in mind you're going to have to make a bend in this end so that it fits in the trough. We're going to start at this end. So what we're going to do is, the kettle's boiled, just going to pour some boiling water over the end of this. And all it's going to do is soften the plastic up so that we can actually kink it or move it around. With your fingers, Harry. Like that. My daddy's got hard fingers, so I can do this. I'm just going to put a kink in it, like this, and I'm going to bend it back on itself, like that. Probably helps if you make a kink in this first of all, or at least do the zap strap part of the way up. And we're just going to put it round like that. The more purchase, the tighter you can get it, the better. And that's just going to create a bit of a seal on there. What we do is we snip that off with a pair of scissors. Like that. And that's the end of it. So hopefully it'll hold some water. It hasn't got to be perfect. As you can see, that's holding water there. So we've got a bit of a seal. On to the next bit. Right, so once you've formed the seal on the end of it, what we're going to do is we're going to create that bend. So it's exactly the same principle again. What we're going to do is we're going to get the trough, like this. Obviously it's a short, so we're just going to do an example. We're going to lay it in the trough, like this, looking at where it bends. Keep hold of it at the point at which it bends, like this, so we know roughly where we're going to have to create that. And the same principle again, we're just going to put boiling water all over it like this so it becomes nice and malleable. A heat gun, like I said, would be just as appropriate, but you have to be careful you don't melt it. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to create, so bend it slightly further than 90 degrees, and you can blow on it, or even run it under cold water. Like that, just to get it to set in place. And what you should be left with is that right angle, okay? So when you put it in the trough now, you'll be able to just cut it off with a Stanley knife to the height, so it's the same height at the top of the soil or the lip of the actual trough. There you go, Harry, what do you think?
Good.
Yeah, do you like that? It's also quite useful as a snorkel as well. Okay, so the next two things you're going to need a small drill bit. This is just, I don't know even how small this is, a small drill bit basically. And a power drill, a cordless drill such as this. And what we're going to do is we're going to make holes in Harry's snorkel, or the tube that you will be using for the water reservoir in the bog garden. And just simply being careful, watching your fingers, probably best to put it on a surface and do this. But we want to just drill lots and lots of holes all the way around it, so the full circumference for the full length basically, and that's going to allow that water to dissipate into the soil. And what you should be left with is something like this, and it should fit nicely into the trough like that, and just stand a little bit proud. Okay, so once you've drilled your holes in it, you want to make sure that it works. So I'm simply just going to put some water in it, and we can see how permeable that's going to be right the way along it. So it'll just leak out water for its full circumference. There's holes in the top of it as well, so we know it's working, and that's going to be ideal. So the next thing to do is to put this in the bottom of the trough and fill the trough up. Right, okay, so we've made all the holes in the bottom of our tube. That's just going to sit in the bottom of our trough now, nice and centrally. That right angle will help for it to stay down in there. What we're going to do is just backfill it now with soil. What we're using here is a standard CP mix, so we've got peat moss compost in here. We've got some fine perlite. We've also got some aquarium gravel, and there's also some sand in there just to keep it nice and aerated. So what we'll do is we'll get Harry to. This is your after all. This is your beach shovel spade that I use all the time for doing these videos. It's very good for that, Harry. If you want to backfill it, what I'll do is put that over there. Yeah, in the middle. Good boy. That's it. Fill it up. Good job. Just want to tamp it down around the reservoir to make sure it gets held in place properly. Good boy. Probably going to need a bit more soil. It's surprising how much you'll actually need to put in this. Good boy, Harry. Doing a brilliant job. I'll just leave you to get on with that. Good job, Harry. It's fun. What plants are we going to put in it?
I don't know.
You don't know? Should we put some of those ones over there?
Yeah.
Should we put some of these over here as well?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then where are we going to put it? Where's it going to go when we've planted it all up?
Back there.
Back there, do you reckon?
Yes. It's long enough.
It's long enough, okay.
From there to here.
Okay. And it'll fit over there, will it?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's why it's in front of you. And there's some plants should go in front of it.
Okay, brilliant stuff.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, you fill this up, Daddy, go and get some more soil, because I think we're nearly out. I think we're going to need some more of that, aren't we? I don't think that's all going to... We're going to need more soil to fill this up. So Daddy, go and get some more. You fill that up.
Yeah.
You can do if you want. You can pick this up if you want.
What's that?
Daddy, get some more soil. Yeah. There's actually two here, look. There you go.
Planting, plant those, and plant this on each side. And we're going to a bit more soil. All of that, and then do pat it down when you do it, but it is pretty messy. I remember when you use this book, it can be a bit high. If your children need those, then you do like this. And you really remember to feed your grownup because it's really messy and you don't know how to burn a kettle for doing it. So you just need to go and then Daddy is just and your grownups. I think that you go in the kitchen if you need to do something. And then turn that go up. So that's all I wanted to say. So you are wondering if you want to watch this one when Daddy and me are on YouTube. And that's going to be reading. I'm really been sorting up me. I'm making some more plants. Oh, welcome. No. There you go. Only if you're not. But I did talk to the camera.
Oh, cool. I can't wait to hear it later. Right. I hope everybody else enjoys it as well. Were you telling them about sort of all sorts of things?
I was talking about I was talking about everything about plants.
Okay, cool.
Why didn't you
Tell you what should we do? Should we tip it all in?
Yeah.
Okay, let's push it down there. You push it down like that, make sure it goes nice and stiff. Hard. That's it. Push, push, push. Right, let's slide it over. We'll tip the rest in. You ready?
A little bit of poo in it.
It's not poo, it's compost.
Look, poo.
No, that's compost. Okay, so I want to leave a little bit of a lip. Don't want it to come right the way up to the very top, because sometimes you'll find you fill it up, the water will go bloop, and bloop, out over the top of the media. So just a little bit more on there. Oh. So what we're going to do now is just fill it up, and then in the next episode we'll plant it. Well, me and Harry will plant it up. We're going to go for a Western Australian theme. Yes, Sunshine?
Get all of it in there.
Yes, please, yeah.
Everything but.
Yes, please. Support in the hole. So yeah, the next episode we're going to plant up. We're going to go for a Western Australian theme. So we're going to put some Drossera Bermanii in there. Might put some Drossera Hamiltonii in it. Drossera Adelaide. And I'm also going to put one of the Utricularias in it as well, which is probably going to go right the way across the surface. It will soon sort of take over, but it won't be particularly competitive for the other plants. So that'll be really cool. Has all the water gone down? Can you still see it? I can't see it. So when you're filling it up for the first time, obviously it's going to absorb a lot of water. So this is just rainwater in the can. So you just got to keep filling it up, watching the level. It will go down. Keep topping it up until it starts to remain at a certain height. The beauty about this is you can actually see the height of the water, which is really good. Keep filling it up, Harry.
I have no more.
Is there no more? Go and get some more water. You know where it is.
But by my nose, it's all the way down there.
It is all the way down there. So like I say, tune in next time.
It is behind there. It is behind this part.
Yes, go and grab some water, Sunshine. So tune in next time and we'll plant it up. Remember, if you like this video and you want to see more, don't forget to give us a like, and if you feel like it, subscribe. Thanks for watching.